and open internet is neither so free nor so open as we like to believe, and decreasingly so as time progresses. But there have been some very worrying moves towards censoring alternative media in the past couple of days that I really wanted to bring to your attention. You may have seen, for example, antiwar.com having been removed from Google AdSense because of, well, they were first given the reason that it was about pictures of Iraqi detainees at Abu Ghraib. Then they were told it was about an article on the Ukraine war, and they've had it restored and then taken away again. Just craziness going on with regards to that. But it is certainly not just antiwar.com that's been hit by this. Luke Rukowski has talked about how almost all of his videos have suddenly become demonetized, and the view count is now skewed much, much further downward than it used to be. And I can attest also from behind the scenes, same thing for me. My account has been demonetized, removed from Google AdSense, which is okay because I've never put a Google ad on my videos, and I never will, and never even considered it because I don't trust Google as far as I can throw them, and I wouldn't accept any money from them. But there you go. The people who were relying on them for part of their funding have now lost that funding source. For no adequately explained reason, but clearly something has gone on with Google, and they are now starting to censor based on political content. I mean, that is exactly what antiwar.com is talking about. That seems to be what's happened to Luke Rukowski, and that seems to be what they've decided behind the scenes about my account. And again, not that I care, but it shouldn't be surprising to those of us who know, for example, about the the documented relationship between Google and the NSA. There was a court ruling back in 2009, I want to say, that the court admitted that there was a relationship, but they couldn't release any of the details of it. Just last year, we got some leaked emails from NSA Director General Keith Alexander to Google executive Sergey Brin and Eric Schmidt, talking about Google's participation in refinement, engineering, and deployment of solutions to cyber threats, as well as the meetings that took place behind the scenes between Google, Apple, and Microsoft executives and NSA officials about coming up with core security principles for mobile devices, which is a laugh given what we know about the various ways that these mobile devices are tapped into by the NSA. Again, shouldn't be surprising. People might remember Nafiz Ahmed's expose on how the CIA made Google, various other points along that data trail that we've covered here on the Corbett Report in the past. And the latest revelation just a couple of days ago, interestingly enough, apparently the Google is meeting with the White House, is meeting at the White House once a week. It is becoming a, quote, lobbying powerhouse. Or perhaps not becoming, but being exposed as a lobbying powerhouse behind the scenes. So intimate relationship between Google and the US government. Where does one end and the other begin? Who even knows at this point? But they certainly seem to be cracking down on users. Unfortunately, for those who think Facebook might be a safer place, it isn't.
Sorry, I'm kind of nervous. We have the President of the United States here.
Well, thank you so much, Facebook, for hosting this, first of all.
Yes, Facebook, of course, absolutely no different. So a point highlighted in a recent conversation between Dan Dix and Jeffrey Tucker talking about Liberty.me and alternative social media sites that are trying to combat various Facebook and other types of censorship that they talk about and discuss in that video. Worth watching. Again, not a surprise to people who've been following the story. For example, in 2012, it was admitted, it was leaked, that Facebook has a content censorship list, and they employ people at minimum wage, I believe in the Philippines or somewhere like that, to go behind the scenes and secretly delete any content that goes against what they call the Bible. Internally, that's what they call their censorship book. Facebook manipulated user news feeds to create emotional responses. This came out last year, just a bizarre story where they admit they were actually working behind the scenes to try to tailor people's news feeds to see if they could manipulate their emotions, which they would then measure by the types of things they would post to their Facebook walls. The most creepy Orwellian stuff you can imagine, and I still can't imagine why anyone is on Facebook at this point. And for anyone who, I noticed some people in Acapulco telling me that they'd seen me on Facebook. I am not on Facebook, so anyone on Facebook claiming to be James Corbett or representing the Corbett Report is not me. It must be someone else. So just to make that clear. But again, all of these shenanigans are happening right now, and we can only imagine what else is happening with manipulation of user news feeds behind the scenes that isn't admitted to. This is years old material. People might remember Google Video. I remember back in the day when I was first getting into this, this was a place where every single day on the front page you would see Great Global Warming Swindle, 9/11 Mysteries Demolition. You would see Federal Reserve documentaries. In the top 10, where you'd often see 9/11 videos of various sorts every single day. And eventually they rejiggered their algorithm to try to get rid of the truth videos from the front page. And then they got rid of the top 100 altogether. And then they got rid of Google Video altogether and just turned it into YouTube, just bought out YouTube and literally turned it into GooTube. And we all know where that went. YouTube used to have a front page. That was how some of my earliest viral videos went viral. But now there is no front page. It's a personally tailored page based on your personal viewing history. So if you watch alt media, yeah, you might get some alt media recommendations. If you don't, you probably never will. So that viral vector has been completely eliminated from the conversation. People might remember Dig, which was the old Reddit of the mid-2000s. It eventually came out. Wired and others reported on the Dig's bury brigades, special super users who were able to bury stories that anyone didn't like from appearing on the front page of Dig. All sorts of stories that were getting hundreds or thousands of digs would be censored from the front page, including surprise, surprise, alt media stories about 9/11 truth and other things. Reddit, it's come out time and time and time again. Various mods censoring posts by topic, censoring posts by website, pay for play. Various websites pay moderators to get their posts on Reddit and in prominent positions. Again, the manipulations are nearly endless, and these latest ones are particularly worrying because, of course, it means that they're trying to cut at people at the source, at the monetary source, so that this type of information, again, cannot be created. This is why it is so important, if you are watching this on YouTube, please at least bookmark CorbettReport.com so that if, and unfortunately increasingly likely when, they try to manipulate, censor, or otherwise obstruct my material on YouTube, you can find it at the source. All of the videos posted in MP4 format for download there. All of the podcasts in MP3 format. All the articles are up there. All the information is at CorbettReport.com for free download, so please make the most of it. And also, again, this is another reminder, this is why we have to save any important material. You see a great article, save it to your hard drive. You hear a great podcast, save it to your hard drive. You see a great video, save it to your hard drive. And save it locally so that it can't disappear down that memory hole. Another great solution, low-tech, disks, actual physical data disks that you can use to archive material, including, of course, this is exactly why I do the data DVDs, where you can buy, for example, a data DVD Volume 4, 2011, every single podcast, every video, every article, all on 2 data DVDs in one set, so that you can take all of that information and you have it physically available, so that, again, if this ever disappears from the internet, if it suddenly goes missing, if they take down CorbettReport.com, you will still physically have the data with you. It is so important for us to remember that all of this, everything that we take for granted right now on the internet is just the flick of a switch away from being taken away, and we shouldn't take this stuff for granted. This is extremely important. So I hope my listeners understand